Take it from me, mister. First timers, 7. Rough sex erotica, virgin erotica, age gap erotica. Written by Kimmy Welsh. Read for you by Minka Tomlinson. It was my 19th birthday that day, and my boss, Mr. Daniels, had taken me out to the water park while we were on vacation. Call me childish all you like, but there's just something about a water park that I absolutely love. I was always kind of one for the water, and the rush of dropping down a huge slide and crashing feet first at the bottom really got the adrenaline racing. Watching Mr. Daniels skip from ride to ride, it also became pretty clear he liked them too. I think he was just a big kid at heart, and it was cool to have someone with me that shared my enthusiasm. "Where next?" he asked, brushing the water off his face as he stepped out of the bottom of one of the rides. "The big one," I said, pointing. "Over there." "Looks good to me," he said, high-fiving me. I skipped away in front of him, turning back to wave him on. "Come on!" He broke into a jog, and I watched those big arms of his move like pistons beside him. He certainly cut a handsome figure in his tight shorts. All day I had to remind myself he was twice my age and my boss, and was probably out of bounds. From behind, he could have been anyone, and in the various cues, I'd made sure I got an eyeful of that tight butt of his. I'd lean across him or place a hand on his bare back whenever we stayed still long enough. I wanted to get as close to him as possible. The curiosity was just too much. At 19, I was still a virgin, and the longer I remained that way, the more insatiable and curious I became. I guess it all came to a head that day. "Let's grab a tube," I said, skipping to the bottom of the line. "Looks like we have to share." Mr. Daniels helped me with the big inflatable as we rose up the stairs to join the queue. Thankfully, it was short, and in no time at all we were looking down on the whole park. "I'll go at the back," I said, switching places with him before the park attendant steadied our raft at the top. "Jump in," the attendant said, and Mr. Daniels took his spot at the front. I got in close behind him and put myself against his back, holding my hands tight around his stomach as the attendant pushed us off. "Whoa!" I cried, my scream bouncing off the yellow fiberglass walls. Mr. Daniels gave a gleeful shout too as we picked up speed, rushing over the slippery slide and rocking from left to right into the huge, sweeping corners. I pulled myself even closer to him, reaching around and feeling his tensed, muscled stomach as he held his head upright to look. Soon he was reclining against me, putting his big back against my wet tits as we descended. "Yes!" I cried, becoming carried away as I searched down to the waist of his shorts. In the melee, I got a little excited. I moved my hand down to the crotch of his shorts, surprising him as I took a playful grip of the bulge that sat beneath those tight shorts of his. His joyous cries stopped quickly, and his hand moved to mine. He held it in place for a moment and then carefully removed it, turning his head back to me. "You don't want to do that," he said. But I definitely did. I smirked like a naughty minx, letting out another playful wail as if to erase the act. We swooped into the next corner and he started to enjoy himself again, clearly willing to put my misdemeanor behind us. As we raced on, all I could think about was how it felt in my grasp. I knew it wasn't at its full size, but it still felt big. I tried to imagine it, closing my eyes and transporting myself into a brief fantasy that quickly fizzled away when the raft crashed heavily into the water at the bottom. We both leapt over the sides and splashed into the water, emerging with broad smiles and laughter. "That was intense," I cried. "What a way to finish."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?